26 months ago, we booked the Anantara Al Jabal Akdar resort as part of a very special occasion, our honeymoon. We paid an obscene amount of money that we would never normally spend on a hotel for one night. However, we thought it's our honeymoon, we're going to do it. Now, as you know, COVID hit and the wedding was postponed and the honeymoon postponed, and we ended up going to the Bahamas, which was incredible. It was brilliant. Oman Air took 18 months to give us a refund, so we thought we're not going to book with them. On the way here, we took Turkish instead, which was perfectly adequate and half the price. Now, Anantara was the only place out of about 14 that refused to give us a refund, and they said they would honour our booking. So here we are, 2 years later, having that booking. But I did think to myself, this is a lot of money. So Andy and I are taking you on this expensive hotels little jaunt at the end of our Oman trip, and we're going to let you know whether we think paying out an extortionate sum of money for a night in luxury 5-star resort is worth it. So I'm just going to say a night at Anantara has cost us over £400. It makes me feel a little bit ill because, as we say in our blurb, we're real people on real budgets, and that really is an extortionate amount of money. Chedi's going to cost us over £300 for a night. I can barely say these things out loud, but we'll let you know at the end of the 2 days what we think.
You filming me?
I am.
Why are you filming me?
I'm filming you because I'm also filming the very steep road we are going up, having just been through a police check to remind us that we have to use 4-wheel drive on the way down, but not on the way up. Sorry, low ratio, something or other, all technical to me. We're just admiring the tank that we are driving and how amazing it is, which is Toyota Prada.
Piranha?
It said Prada, like a handbag. I'm not going to forget that, am I? And up we go into Akdar.
So there you go. Probably the two most exclusive and probably most expensive hotels in Oman. You think?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think?
Well, I'd say with Anantara, the pros are the drive up and down is incredible. It's spectacular, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely need four-wheel drive. And the welcome you get is like no other welcome I've ever experienced in any other hotel. Going to the room, we just had standard rooms at both of these hotels, and the room was beautiful. Like, I almost cried. It was the most luxurious room I've ever been to, and it was lovely. The view out onto the canyon was just amazing, wasn't it? And I have to mention the breakfast.
Oh, breakfast was amazing.
The breakfast was incredible. The food and the spread, just brilliant. If you love activities and like climbing around rock faces and doing wild things, Anantara is the place for you. Cons.
Kids.
I'm just saying.
I've got kids, nothing against kids, but when you pay a lot of money for a room, you don't want the room next door to you to have screaming kids in it. And I just think that's one of the places where they could have just done a bit better. It doesn't take much to put all the families in one place and the people who are not in a family in another. Place, yeah.
So that really did sort of put a little mark on it.
It's a long way away from everywhere else. So you're in the resort and only in the resort. You can't kind of go and do anything else while you're there.
It's true.
Not that you would do when you paid that much money.
And it's expensive while you're there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that we considered a glass of wine, and it was like something like £45 or something like that for a glass. So just saying. Okay, so the Chedi. Andy, what did you think of the Chedi?
I love the Chedi. The location was amazing. It was a big resort, but it didn't feel like a big resort because the actual plot that the hotel is on is enormous, and it's so beautifully landscaped, but there's not that many people using that plot, so it felt exclusive. You've got the sea, you've got choice of pools. That long pool, you think is the longest one in the Middle East, was just a pleasure to be in around. It felt like you were in a spa, really did. The rooms weren't quite as nice as Anantara. The welcoming wasn't quite as good as Anantara. It was great, but it wasn't quite at the same level. But yeah, I think other than that, and they did do this thing about kids. They separated so there were adult only areas of the place. Some pools were no children were allowed, other places where it was children friendly. So to me, they got the balance of that a bit better right.
Yeah, and I'd say, if I was a single traveller, I would go to the Chedi every time. I'd happily go there for a week on my own. It just feels like a real wellness place that you can just wander around, and it's beautiful. It's a thumbs up for the Chedi from us.
So if you're going to do one, which one?
Chedi.
Chedi for me too. So see you in the next adventure.